In 34, Love It happens every Friday, Saturdays and Sundays where we like to feature fellow Malaysians from all walks of life, regardless of age, race, whatever lah. But they have achieved something or they're up to something and that it's unique, and we'd like to give them a platform, provide them a platform and talk to us about what they're up to. But today, my guest in the studio, before all of that, please, for those of you tuned in to us right now, you can watch all this live via YouTube and also on Facebook. That's TRAXXfm Official. And also TikTok Live. Our channel is, our handle is TRAXXfm Official. So, with great pleasure, I would like to introduce our lovely, she's not little, but she is 16 years of age. And she is not just your average 16-year-old, because I know what I did when I was 16 years old. But this girl decided to break records, okay? She has got, to her name, the Asian Book of Records and also the Malaysian Book of Records for delivering 101 self-written speeches in under 3 hours. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, please put your hands together for Tanusya. Hello, hi Tanusya.
Hello.
Hi, how are you doing?
I'm good.
Looking lovely and sweet. And you brought your bodyguard with you. Your dad. Hello, Dad. Mr. Chandru, okay, he's here. So guys, right now I need to flip the camera. So this is what I always do. Okay, you're the prestige. You're my ultimate. So the viewers are not like, who's this? On TikTok Live, I have flipped the cam. I present to you our guest. Hello, hi. So Tanusya, how are you doing today?
I'm good.
Right. How's school today? It's okay. It's a Friday. You know, it's school done already. Are you done with school?
Yeah, we finished our finals and all, so...
So now it's like lepa.
Yeah.
Do you all still have class parties and stuff?
Not anymore.
What is this lah? My teachers used to collect like 10 ringgit from each student, and we had like fried chicken. We sat down in a whole circle. No more, none of those?
No, I think it stopped after COVID, but I'm not too sure. Maybe it's just my school.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay then. But you've been doing all right today so far?
Yeah.
Now, first and foremost, on behalf of TRAXXfm, we'd like to say congratulations on bagging this award.
Thank you.
When exactly did you do this? Sometime in the middle of the year, right?
Yeah, I did it in conjunction with Teachers' Day, which also relates to my team, which is teachers are our greatest assets.
Okay. And what made you want to do this in the first place?
At first, it started off as a self-challenge. So how it started is...
Okay, I want to stop you right there. You can be absolutely honest. Did your parents force you to do this?
No.
You sure?
Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah.
All right, huh?
My dad did not even know I was going to do it.
Your dad didn't? Aren't dads always like this? They are just left outside the room. It's the mothers, right? Is your mother tuned in as well?
I'm pretty sure she is.
Hello? What's your mom's name?
Sri.
Hello, Sri. How you doing? Did you get your daughter into all this? She's like, no, she's probably smiling. But yeah, go on. What made you want to do this?
It started off as a self-challenge. So like I would say that I've been an all-rounder in school, and I like to explore in different like fields. So how it started is like me and my friends, we were conversing and we were like talking about how we were going to be different because we wanted to be, you know, extra and extraordinary, you know, seniors from 4 lah. So then I was just like, what should I do? What can I do? And I was like, what if I break a record? And then coincidentally, when I went home, my mom and a friend had a chat about it. So I told my mom about our chat. Then she was like, you know what? Since you're good at public speaking, maybe you should just try break a record in that. And I was like, Ma, that sounds ridiculous. How am I going to do this? And she was like, I don't know, think out of the box. So first I started with 100 speeches. Then my mom was like, 100 everybody does. Do 101 lah. Then I was like...
Hey.
I was like...
Guys, I just want to make this. This is like giving a 51 ringgit ang pao. Dude! Let's not get into that. But yeah, 101 speeches, just like the Dalmatians. Why stop at 101?
So then I was like... okay, then I guess that's how it kind of came together.
But why this particular record? You said public speaking, yeah, fine. You could have done anything else. You just said that you are all-rounder. What else are you good at besides just writing and talking?
I'm interested in music, dance, and then I've also been doing girl guides since I was really young.
So
and then
music, what kind of music?
I used to play the violin. I still play the piano to this day. I used to be in choir and orchestra.
And your parents had nothing to do with this, right? They didn't force you.
Music, my parents were the ones that like started, because my dad has been into music a lot.
Great, man.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes parents just want to live their lives, things that they couldn't afford to do it. They want to live that moment through their kids, and that's exactly what they're doing. So after that whole idea, you thought it was ridiculous, out of this world, outrageous to come up to break a record, and then you told your mom, let's do this. Your mama said, let's do 101 and do public speaking. So the whole process from the time this idea was conceptualized, you had school during all this time.
Yeah.
lah. So how did you do this?
So for this specific project, I started with 2 weeks. I took 2 weeks to kind of brainstorm the theme. So what I decided to do, 101 themes, 101 speeches. I decided to have 50 themes. So the first few teams would have 2 speeches each team, and then the last one would have a finale of 3 speeches. So that's how the 101 came together. And what I did the first 2 weeks, I brainstormed ideas and themes and how I'm going to split everything and segregate the topics. So that's how I started off with 2 weeks. And then for each script, I also came up with like my key points. So, but I didn't write the full script yet because, 2 weeks, 101. So I really
You're giving me anxiety by just telling this whole process.
And then after the 2 weeks, took a break, and then I took 2 days just to write 101 scripts. 2 solid days, no distractions, no nothing.
An average 16-year-old would probably want to go catch a movie or go watch a musical show or just be out and about, but instead you decide to go down this path because you're just different. You're built differently. So when you wrote all of those, you segregated time management at its best for a 16-year-old. Trust me, if you ask your dad and I what we did when we were 16, I don't know about your dad. You ask me what I did, I'll say, alamak. To be different, right? You wanted to be different and stand out, right? We did all of the above for probably reasons that we may regret now, but thank goodness we had no social media and no camera phones. We run away from that. So, upon completing these speeches, who vetted these speeches for you, proofread the speeches and edited? Who did all that for you?
So behind this, I had multiple parties helping me. So first was my ex-English tutor. So she used to be an English tutor in Singapore. So then I took dance lessons with her. So then I decided to just like ask her for help.
Your teacher is also all-rounder. Okay, go on. And then?
So then I asked her to like vet through. She read it first, and then after that I had the proofreading by my school's English panel, and then the final signing of each speeches by my school's pengetua.
Your principal?
Yep.
Okay, so it's not just something that you just penned it down and then decided to go break a record.
Yeah.
These, someone need to approve this and some form of accreditation and like approval. Say like, okay, this is going to go on.
Yeah.
So what's your principal's name?
It's Encik Muhammad Najib.
Hello, Mr. Encik Muhammad Najib. I'm sure she has done your school proud. This record not only belongs to her, it belongs to that classroom, the teachers, that school, that establishment, the institution that she goes to for I don't know for how long already, but yeah, congratulations. So once you got it all approved, and then what happened?
Then I started with the recording. The recording took place in school. So at first...
Did you like have your classmates all sitting in front of you?
I had a few of them like watching because we need an audience.
Right. Wasn't that a form of distraction? Because your friends can't keep quiet. They're like more excited, like, oh my god, she's doing it, oh my god. She's going to be constantly doing it for 3 hours.
I had to like lock in. I actually had to be so serious. I was like, the first few times, I kept looking at my friend, like, because they were at the side here, because the camera was straight.
Right.
And then they were all at the side. So there were like 2 rows. And then I kept doing this. While I was speaking, I kept doing this. But then I saw my mom at the corner and then I was
Exactly.
like, okay.
Amma looked as, what are you doing? Straight fear kicked in and then your friends became invisible. They were not there.
And all of them were silent. Nobody moved. And I was like, okay.
I wish your mom was here in the studio with us today. You know, your dad is very calm and composed. Dad's always cool. So, but I've got a question now. When you decided to write this 101, me even writing one speech is like headache. You decided to do this and based on one theme, which is about teachers, right? And then you broke it down to 3 different themes within that, correct? Did you mention that?
There were 50 different themes.
50?
Yep.
Okay, where did you go find your material? Did it just something inspire you just off your head? You just started writing it, it just started flowing? Or did you do research? Or was it 100% whatever that you kept in your heart and you've put it down on paper?
So first when I like thought of the theme, it was a really vague and big theme because, we've had like many teachers throughout our lives and many different experiences. Every day is a new day with them.
You can do my job. Okay, go on.
So I was just like, I had so many ideas and everything was like overflowing, you see.
Okay.
So what I did, I just like jotted everything down on words. So I just like kept typing and typing and typing. And then I also related it back to my personal experiences with my teachers. And not only my school teachers right now, but my primary school teachers, my primary school tuition teachers. Okay. So like everything kind of came together. Even my piano teacher. So like I just like brought in all my experiences like and brought it together. And some of them are like really similar. So when I jotted it down, then I had to like segregate. Then I had to like do mapping which is something my mom taught me, because I was, at one point within the 2 weeks, I was kind of struggling. I was like kind of in a rut. While I was writing, I was like,
What does
how
your
am I
mom
gonna
do
this?
again? Is she just a full-time housewife? She's working somewhere?
Yeah, my mom works. She works in a medical company right now.
What does she do? What's her position? Okay, we shall not. We shall not share that. Okay, but mom's a person who makes sure everything is in order. I'm sure our audience are watching this and even listening to it. Like, am I really having a chat with a 16-year-old? They're probably like, wait a minute, guys. Kids these days are differently built. And so, breaking the record, how did that make you feel? Like, once you were done with that 3 hours,
Once I was done with the 3 hours,
you cried.
my throat was non-existent. I was so thirsty and I sounded like a frog. Even during the recording, I was like gasping for air towards the end, but I was like, okay, no, I'm not going to redo this. I'm not going to start all over again. But then once I finished, I didn't celebrate just yet, because I was like, what if I get rejected? What if, I don't break this record? So I was just holding it in and I was like being very patient. Then the second I got the confirmatory email, I was like,
Okay.
I did not react. I just stared at it and I was like, Ma.
Is this real?
That's all I said. I was like, oh, Ma. My mom was like really happy. She was like over the moon, She was like, Tanusya. And I was like, oh, okay. And in that moment, like, I really couldn't believe it. It felt so like super duper surreal.
Okay.
And I was like, oh, is this like, did this actually just happen? So I was like really, really like surprised. And I was like, it took me a while to fully process it. I did not even tell any of my friends until my mom posted it on Instagram and they all saw. So
Of course, the proudest moment for parents, okay? The kids achieving something to this level of getting recognized not only in Malaysia but throughout the region as well. It's something which every parent would probably dream of. Even parents tuning in right now and people watching this live, probably the kids, probably after school, after extracurricular activity in their cars tuning in, you're going to inspire a lot of people along the way. Anywhere along the way that you wanted to like give up, like, you know what, this is just too much. It's taking a toll because next year my life depends on it because it's SPM year, and I think I need to focus on that rather than this. Did you ever feel that way?
yeah, because halfway through, while around writing about 55 speeches, I was really like done. I was even willing to like shorten the 101. But then I was like, I started with this big goal and I started taking baby steps. So it's not like I just jumped to like the end. So I was like, writing all of them, I was really like confused. I was like, am I really like capable of doing this? Can I actually write 101 speeches? Because it felt like it was so much, and every script had to be different, and I had like a limit of about 2 minutes for each script.
Okay.
So
why don't you break this down? What exactly were the criteria that you had to meet in order to break the record? Or was this a record that you created?
Yeah.
It was not in the books at all?
Nope.
So which means someone out there who's tuned in right now could possibly break that.
Yeah.
So let's talk us through that whole process.
So then after like writing it, I had like a 2 minute, like that was my guideline. Some of them exceeded it. Some of them were like slightly little, but I guess the whole thing like made up in the end because there was 101. And in between, I took about 5 to 10 seconds water breaks. I took about, I think 2 to 3 in total. Because at some points, like, it really dries up your throat,
Of course.
And it took me less than 3 hours. So the specific time was 2 hours, 49 minutes, and 54 milliseconds.
54 milliseconds.
It was measured all the way to the core. So.
Okay, so I think I watched a video somewhere. You had like a timer or something going on there.
Yeah.
Okay, so when all this put together, I guess it was a proposal or someone, your mom submitted to the Malaysian Book of Records. Said, listen, has this record been broken? You had to do a background check, and it's never been done. And then you guys said we would like to break this record, and then they gave you a criteria, or did you guys give them the blueprint?
We gave them the blueprint.
Exactly how you want to go about breaking this record.
Mm-hmm.
And was there like an official there present, or you just had to submit a recording of the whole thing?
I was supposed to submit it to an official, but I have to submit it with a lot of like background and how we did the processing, our audience, people who were present, and then that's why we had to also get like our principal to proofread everything and sign and get it chopped, because the official was not physically there. So we basically had to give everything to the official, like done and dusted, so that
public speaking is something which is cool, where you can be up on stage and you have audience in front of you.
Yeah.
And you can, your body language, your eye contact, which gets you in the mood, in the zone, and you can go on talking even more. But this was something completely different. You were in front of a camera with 3 or 4 friends, and that's it, right? It's a completely different feel. How did you overcome that? Because it would have become, what's the word I'm looking for here? Mundane and spontaneous, not spontaneous.
Like-
It's just, it plateaued because you're doing this repetitive, and
Yeah.
it's like, how did you step out of it?
At first,
101 times 2 minutes or 3 minutes stops. Whoa, go on. Yes.
so at first we started the recording outdoors, and it was bright, it was sunny, and then it started raining halfway through.
Okay.
So we had to restart everything.
You could not like pause and go on.
No,
It doesn't work that way.
we had to switch because then the camera would be exposed, and then the mic, and then I would get drenched. So
So you
the first time I was actually like really enthusiastic, but I was actually getting tired of it because it was really hot out there, and I was wearing my full blazer.
Oh no.
And then I was like, okay, the second time I have to make this happen. I really set my mind and put my mind to it. I was like, no matter what, you have to make this happen.
So, Chok, at which point did it start to rain and you all had to move in? A speech number what? Do you know this?
I think it was around 20 something.
20 something, and then reset. Go
Yeah.
all the way back on top.
Yep.
So you did not, you broke the record with that time, but collectively, you spoke on and off camera for at least more than 4 hours.
Yeah.
Guys, I can't even do this here. We do 3-hour shows and we're like, oh, we need to take a break. But you know what? We're going to take a short break with our news at 3 with Kevin Francis. And then I'm going to continue having a chat with this not your average 16-year-old. Her name is Tanusya Marimutu, who's 16, from SMK,
Damansara Utama.
who has got 2 records to her name, the Malaysian Book of Records and the Asian Book of Records, for the delivering 101 self-written speeches in under 3 hours. Champion lah. I'll be right back. This is In 34. We'll take a short break and be back right after the news at 4 o'clock. TRAXXfm.
Assalamualaikum Madani, it's Kevin Francis with a news update at 4 p.m. 125 volunteers from the Ministry of Housing and Local Government (KPKT) participated in the Madani Ihsan Squad mission. This mission aims to assist residents affected by floods in Terengganu, Kelantan, Pahang and Kedah. According to its minister, Ngah Koming, the assistance provided includes the provision of machinery and equipment for post-flood cleaning processes. Meanwhile, continuous rain is expected to occur in Kelantan and Terengganu starting Monday, December 16th. The Malaysian Meteorological Department, Met Malaysia, stated that the Hulu Perak district in Perak will also experience similar conditions. Additionally, Pahang, specifically the districts of Jerantut, Maran, Kuantan, Pekan and Rompin, will experience continuous rain during the same period. The Malaysian Civil Defence Force Pahang has received 7,000 food kits from the National Disaster Management Agency or NADMA to be distributed to residents affected by disasters. Its director, Colonel Che Adam A. Rahman, stated that out of this amount, 3,500 food kits have been received for Phase 3 as of today. The food kits will be handed over to all APM districts for direct distribution to the affected residents. In other development, the Royal Malaysian Customs Department's Perlis branch seized ganja, ketum leaves and undeclared goods valued at more than 110,000 ringgit between November 21st and December 11th. State Customs Director Ismail Hashim said the seized ganja weighed about 30 kilograms valued at 93,200 ringgit, along with 60 kilograms of ketum leaves worth 2,400 ringgit. Separately, 3 workers were killed after they were electrocuted while installing solar equipment at the Public Works Department or JKR building in Ranau this morning. Sabah Fire and Rescue Department said in a statement that the victims were identified as Gimbal 25, Saleh 34 and Wong 54, when were confirmed dead at the scene by health officials. According to the statement, the department received a call at 10:46 a.m. and dispatched 7 personnel to the scene. Reports indicated that 4 workers were at the site, but one of them, identified as Danny in his 20s, survived unharmed. And finally, on the foreign front, Beijing has adopted a new approach regarding Taiwan, conducting large-scale military drills without prior announcement. The Defense Ministry said this is to normalize its heightened military presence and signal to the US that it can act at any time. This week, Taiwan heightened its alert in response to what is described as China's largest naval buildup around the island in 3 decades. And that concludes the 4 p.m. news updates prepared by Putri Rosli. From the river to the sea, Palestine will be free. Salam Malaysia Madani.
In 34, love it. And today, joining me in the studio is Tanusya Manimutu, who is 16 years of age. She has got the Malaysian Book of Records, the Asian Book of Records for delivering 101 self-written speeches under 3 hours. But then she shared another insight. She started this whole thing, then had to rain. She stopped and then she had to go back. So you did more than that, lah. But people say practice makes perfect, right? It was the universe saying like, I'm going to give you a test run, and okay, after 20, okay, now you know how to do it, right? You got the flow, let's go back from start. I think you executed it, hence you've got, can I just hold your medal?
Yeah, sure.
That Asian, oh guys, she's going to give me the medal, okay. For those of you watching this, guys, you see this? I will just hold it because I cannot put this on my neck because I don't deserve it. It doesn't belong to me. So, the challenges while talking, did you have to memorize these speeches? Or you had a script? Please tell me no. You didn't
No, I did not memorize
I would
it.
have jumped off somewhere and we go on, yeah.
Well, I feel like when you write the scripts, you kind of know what you're writing. So it wasn't like I memorized it, but I roughly knew when I mentioned like certain experiences that I talk about. Sometimes I don't even refer because I just like know what comes next and, I know how it ends and everything. So I guess like when you write, I feel like when I write my speeches myself And when someone proofread it, they just like improve it, they don't really like change it. So when you write your own scripts, I feel like it's really authentic and you can know what you're saying. So there's not much to memorize. I feel like that is a much better approach rather than finding like scripts online or getting ChatGPT or any other resource to write for you.
Nice, like you all talk about ChatGPT now, huh? Life is so much easier now, isn't it? Huh? But when you were writing all these things down and presenting it, were they like making sure that what you said on camera in your speeches actually had to match the transcript? Or is it okay for you to like, you know what, she's got the gist of it. Maybe you ad-lib, you added a few elements.
Yeah.
It was fine?
Yeah. It was
fine by that.
flexible.
Okay lah. So what's the next step, Tanusya? You've achieved this besides your SPM year next year, which is going to be a tough one. Mom and Dad, I'm just telling you right now, she's done this much. I think she's got this under her belt as well. She's going to ace her SPM and she's going to do all of you proud. Please don't put any pressure on her. Buy her nice Christmas gifts. So what's the next plan after this?
As of now, I'm currently working on my Girl Guides. So I'm targeting to achieve my Queen's Guide by the early quarter of next year. So this is something that I've been working on for so long. So I started my guiding journey in about when I was 9 in 2017. And it was me and my friends, okay? So we were always like talking about Queen's Guide, and it was like a really like far-fetched dream for us.
What's Queen's Guide? I know
Queen's Guide is the award, and we get it directly from the Queen of Malaysia, so it's...
boy. Okay, and then?
So then it was always like, guys, imagine us doing our Queen's Guide. Guys, imagine us doing Queen's Guide. Wow, look at the kakak punya sash. So then we were like, so now we all have that sash, and we all have the bowler hat, and it's like, we're like almost there, and it's like a really, really big moment for us. So I feel like alongside with my Asia and Malaysia Book of Records is like a good wrap up for my high school journey. So it really also like fulfilled my dream of doing like something big and something different before I end my high school journey.
So, well, this is definitely going to be a nice story for you to share with everyone else as you grow up, as you get older, as you guys, especially your friends. We want to make a shout out to your friends. You keep saying this friends. I'm sure you've got one core group of friends who stuck by you, or you guys are still doing things together. What are the names?
I'm not going to name drop, but you know who you are.
She is playing it safe because she doesn't want to upset people like, hey, you forgot to say my name. And then there's another problem you have to deal with. So you told me you're going to the UK tomorrow or when soon?
Yeah, I'm leaving on Sunday.
What's that for?
So I'm going to this program. It's a UK, I guess it's sort of like an exchange program. But yeah, we're basically going there, and it's where we get to stay in Lady Margaret Hall, Oxford.
Whoa.
So it's something that I've really been looking forward to also. I actually wanted to go the years before, but I didn't really get the chance to because of clashing like schedules and everything.
Yeah, I know.
So,
but for a 16-year-old to get all this thing, you must definitely count your blessings and be thankful. So if somebody would like to pick up this talent of writing, it's not something easy. It doesn't come naturally. I'm sure you love to read compared to sitting down in front of the watching something on getting stuck in a scroll hole. You'll enjoy reading. What are your tips that you like to part with our audience or parents who are tuned in to probably want to instill these things in their kids to probably break your record?
I would say start now, because I feel like the things that holds like my generation back is our age or how big or small we think our ideas are. But I feel like generally when we start, we should never stop. And my biggest like challenge throughout this whole thing was whether or not I'm going to achieve it. But how I kept myself going was like thinking about the end product and how good it feels holding this medal right now. So I was like, okay, keep going and don't stop. And I feel like mistakes were what like got me here today. Like I said, I think I mentioned it earlier, but how I started getting into public speaking was all an accident.
Oh, what's this accident? What happened? How did you end up on the stage or with a mic?
Okay. So, my school had, remember, I said that I liked exploring and trying different things. So, I was like, okay, you know what? Let's just try this, it's plus another one. And I was like really, really desperate for certificates. So, I was like, okay, if I go for this, I at least can get participation cert. So, I was like, okay, and it was international. So, I don't know who I thought I was. But in 2018, I was like, you know what? I'm auditioning for public speaking. Didn't get selected. Then, the person that got selected, the candidate, last minute she couldn't go. So, then I was called in as a sub with only 3 days left to prepare. And I looked at the competition, like the poster and the invitation. They were like, I think it was an ASEAN competition. So there were like people from like Indonesia. I remember Indonesia and China and stuff. So I was like, wow, I'm going to be fighting with the big dogs. So I was like, okay. And the theme of the competition was mathematics. Can you imagine a 10-year-old like talking about mathematics? I was like, how am I going to do this?
If you ask me, a 46-year-old, to talk about maths right now, it's like, huh? Where do I begin? Where do I start?
Yeah, and at that point of time, what did I know? I was like, what? Maths, fractions, plus, minus, times, divide. So I really had to read and to research. I don't even remember what I said up there. But I got gold. And even I was shocked. Even my parents were shocked. So I was like, okay, maybe this is my new thing, you know?
So at 10 years old, this happened, and that's when you realized, like, okay, you had no stage fright? I'm sure you did.
Oh, I was terrified.
Right.
I was terrified. Especially since, like, before that, all the participants, we were in a breakout room.
Okay.
And then the friends that I made there, they were like, oh, yeah, I have 3 public speaking coaches. Oh, yeah, I've been to, like, 7 competitions. I was like, oh.
You know, you can make a movie out of this. It's like a little journey of like how it all began and to where you got your achievement. Of course, you're not going to stop at this record. Any plans on breaking any new records after this?
Okay, I have thought about Guinness World Records before, but
Is there such a record?
I don't know. I guess I have to do my research and check in.
The Guinness Book of World Records. You know, I don't know if they have such a record, Brooker. You know what? Give it a shot. Give it a shot. We just don't know. If you can break one, you can break one, lah. Tanusya, we're almost running out of time because I've got another 2 minutes left on the clock. If I would say that if you could have done something different in your life, because from the moment that 10-year-old you decided to do public speaking, talking about math, and then fast forward, you're 16 years old right now. If you could go back maybe like, let's say last 5 years or 10 years, if you could change something, would you?
I don't think so. I would say that every experience that I had really like shaped me into the person I am today. Even when I fumbled on stage, even when I forgot my script, I feel like everything makes me into a better person. And even when I got gold for that first competition of mine, I got so many feedbacks from my mom. Everyone else was like, oh my god, Tanusya, first gold, great, congrats. But then my mom was like, Tanusya, you need to improve on this. And at that point, I was like, Amma, but I already got gold. You know, I was 10. I was like, excuse me, where's my Nintendo? That was my reward for the competition.
They bribed you, okay.
So I was like, where's my reward? And then I realized, like, growing up, I realized that feedback really molds you into who you are. And every competition to this day is like a learning for me. I look at other speakers and I would say that each of us have our different like fortes, and I still learn so many things from different speakers to this day. So I would say that every like step of my journey is still a learning. Even when I achieved the Asia Book of Records, it was a learning. So I feel like everything, like there's so much more to learn and there's so much more to see. So I would never really change anything as of now.
Well, if I could give you my blessings, right, Tanusya, I would just like say that in years to come, while you're studying to pursue, to become a full-fledged lawyer, and if you ever have the passion to be on radio, I think you would do a wonderful job, because some people, I've had many guests, I've been here long enough to have seen many different people, different age groups and from different backgrounds.
Mm-hmm.
Today, you had no script in front of you, and you were just talking as if like there's no tomorrow, and 34 minutes is just not enough time for me and you to continue this conversation. And I think you're going to go find becoming a lawyer. That's it lah. Don't forget me, okay? When you become the superstar, they're like, oh, this is Uncle Didi. You can call me Uncle Didi, no problems whatsoever. But yeah, we want to wish you all the best. Congratulations and your future endeavors, your future projects. Good luck in your SPM examination next year. And any parting words for our audience who tuned in watching us live before we say bye-bye?
Thank you for watching, everyone. And you can do this too. If a 16-year-old can, you can.
Guys, she couldn't have said it any better. And thank you so much for making time on your busy schedule. You have a safe flight. Enjoy your exchange program in the UK. I think many 16-year-olds could only possibly dream of doing these things, but dreams can become reality if you put your heart and soul to it and turn them into reality on your own. And you know what? It's good to always have those butterflies and have a little fear all the time, because it keeps you in check. Because overconfidence will be your number one nemesis when you take the stage. Thinking you know it all, you might just fall flat to the ground. Tanusya, congratulations. And can I just lift that Malaysian Book of Records in my hand before I say bye to you?
All right.
Guys, and she knocked the camera. It's okay. I'm going to hold it. Ladies and gentlemen, this is that award that she achieved And I'm holding this up saying that you can do this too. And kejap, kena just sini. You guys can do this too if you put your heart and soul to it. And Tanusya, you owe it all to your parents and of course your amma.
Yeah.
She kept you in check. If she had told you, yeah, well done, you got gold, you would have thought, okay, I've achieved it all. And you would not have become better.
Yep.
And she always said, you know what? Always one up yourself because you got to challenge yourself. All right, with that, this has been another edition of In 34. Thank you so much to our guest, Tanusya. Congratulations. Also, her father, Mr. Chandru, thank you so much for being an awesome dad. And today, your dad and I are twinning, wearing white tops, blue jeans, white sneakers. Don't forget to join us tomorrow and also on Sunday for another edition of In 34. My name is Double D. Till next week. Bye-bye now.